Leadership and accountability. I think that some people think that leadership is being able to dictate what other people do. That's not leadership. That might be control, but it's not leadership. Leadership has to do with having a vision and having the capacity to get others to believe in your vision so that they follow you, and you actually have a plan and strategies and tactics that work so that you can all accomplish the vision. And leadership is more about the team than it is about the individual. A great leader inspires people, and those people become leaders under him or her. Those people become their best selves under him or her. Now, if we take marriage and look at it as a leadership proposition, the research that I've seen says that since 1965, when the studies that I'm talking about were published and have been published again and again and again, there are about 5 different types of marriage. And I've said this many times on this app. There's conflicted, devitalized, traditional, harmonious, and vitalized. Now, the 2 that are at the end, harmonious and vitalized, are actually good, healthy marriages. The other 3 are toxic. And the actual one where we see a lot of leadership is the vitalized marriage, which actually takes the harmonious traits of the harmonious marriage where they're getting along and they really respect each other and there's cooperation, to a shared form of leadership where they basically alternate being leaders and kind of helping their partner, leading their partner towards being their best self. It's called also the Michelangelo effect, where 1 + 1 equals way more than 2. And where that person is able to see inside of you your best self, and they're able to help you accomplish the vision that you have, not the vision they have for you, but your vision for yourself, and actually able to add to it other things that you might not be aware of because they see those things in you. And so they bring your awareness to those positive traits, those abilities, those strengths, because they may see more for you than you do yourself, but they're still supporting your vision. Now, let's go back for a second to the bear versus man thing. In that question, there was the potential to have a response or a reaction. And going back to leadership, leaders are responsive. They take time to think about what is going on, to consider multiple possibilities and multiple ways of viewing things, perspectives. And then after considering those things and thinking, they respond. They're not reactive. They can't afford to be reactive. So all the men that were reactive to that question have just settled the leadership question. They're not leaders. They don't have the capacity at this moment to do what leaders do, which is respond rather than react. And also, some of the men that responded, their biggest concern was their feelings. Now, feelings are important, and we should recognize feelings. We should acknowledge feelings. We need to have emotional availability, emotional regulation, and emotional intelligence. But feelings are an indicator. Feelings are not fact. And feelings are not a sign that someone shouldn't have said something or shouldn't have done something. Feelings are a gauge for you to look at yourself and say, why am I feeling this? What triggered me? What do I need to learn from this feeling? What is this feeling trying to tell me? And the discomfort and the rage and the shock and disbelief that some men felt, that was their chance to sit with that feeling and figure out what was going on. But what many men did who came out negatively against that question, they wanted to foist accountability for their feelings onto women. You shouldn't have said this. You shouldn't have this view of men. You shouldn't have, you can't, you're all of these names that they wanted to call women. And again, I've said multiple times that some men, some people do not know what accountability is. Accountability is not trying to blame someone for your feelings. Our feelings are our responsibility. Now, people can do things that are inappropriate to us, and that can cause us to have feelings by, them overstepping our boundaries or doing, abusive things. But we also have to determine whether that's actually what happened. Because in this case, the feelings that were hurt because those men had a skewed view of women's perception of men. Excuse me. And their skewed view met cognitive dissonance. They were given a set of facts they didn't expect, and those facts upset them. So taking accountability is actually saying, these are my feelings. This is why I felt this way. And I understand that although I have a right to my feelings, I don't have a right to change or try to change facts. Facts exist. And if I want to be an adult, I have to work through my feelings, come to grips with my feelings, and move forward with a new reality, with a new understanding, with a growth in myself to deal with something that I had not before dealt with. And these same men often who don't have the ability to respond rather than react, they don't have the ability to sit with their feelings and figure out what their feelings are telling them. They don't have the ability to take in facts and process those facts